Radio Rahim here with Amir King Kong. You are back and strong. You've taken on a huge challenge here. I didn't get a chance to talk to you after your last fight, so let's just catch the viewers up on where you are now and how you got to be where you are right now. You know, the last fight, obviously, everyone knows it was a devastating loss, and it took something for you to regroup and decide what to do next. Can you talk to me about the process right after you lost a fight and realized what happened in there? What did you go through?
Yeah, you know, I went through a lot. I mean, you know, convincingly beating Garcia and then getting caught with this shot, and you know, that's boxing for you. I got caught with a shot I shouldn't have got caught with. Maybe I went in there and thought, in that third round, I thought, hey, this is easy. I'm catching him with any shot I want to throw, any punch I want to throw, and then I get caught with a shot because maybe my focus wasn't there. But you know, it's boxing for you, and it's made me understand that, look, you have to stay focused throughout the whole fight. You know, you can never let your focus go even for 1 second because things can go wrong. So yeah, you know, since the Garcia fight, you know, I've had a look at the fight, and I know I made a mistake, and I changed my trainer. I need to go with someone who's gonna spend time with me, who's gonna be 100% with me wherever I go, and also who's very experienced and who can bring the best out of Amir Khan. And I think going back to like basics, really, you know, working on techniques that I did before, I started to lose that. I started to rely more on the power side. I'm not really a power puncher fighter, you know, I'm more of a skillful fighter who uses his head and skills to win fights. I started to maybe rely on power and, you know, exchange with opponents when I don't need to. You know, my style is to hit, move, and, you know, be smart. So, you know, spoke to Golden Boy, and they said, look, it'd be good to maybe fight someone like Carlos Molina, because his style is more of a boxing style, but you know, he's undefeated, he's very confident, and I think it'll be a good fight for me. So it's a fight I definitely need to win, and my whole focus, not like before. Like before, it was focusing on so many different names and looking too far ahead. Now my whole focus is on one fight, a step at a time. I'm focusing on Carlos Molina, and that's all it is.
Now, speaking to your focus, for instance, in this last fight, not everyone, but people thought that you would have the edge because of your boxing skills, and Garcia is just a slugger, so they figured you could pick him apart. Do you think that the pre-fight hype, even from the first press conference, that he got in your head a little bit, that maybe you were pressing because it was personal for you, wanted to knock this guy out and hurt him?
Well, you could say that, yeah. Sometimes I got involved in arguments I shouldn't have, and I remember when I kind of wanted to prove a point by knocking him out, and if I had just stuck to what I did in the first couple of rounds by boxing him and not getting involved and just being smart and making him look stupid, then I think you know, I'm making him miss and stuff, I think it would have been a fight that would have got stopped in within maybe round 5 or round 6. But I kind of got too confident and I wanted to really hurt him, and I went in there, tried swinging, and that's when I got caught in between a swinging shot. But like I said, I blame myself for that. You know, I don't blame anyone. Garcia's and his father's they worked. You know, the technique that they forced on me was to get me angry and get me to kind of, you know, lose my head, which did happen, you know. And I think I did get frustrated, and I wanted to go in there and hurt him and knock him out, really. And that's the mistake I made. I should have just stuck to be myself and stay nice and cool and staying calm and collective.
Is it true that you seek the rematch and it was Garcia that turned you down?
I've asked for the rematch, and I've had nothing come back. I mean, you know, they said they don't want to give me a rematch, but you know, I mean, I'm still gonna push for it. Hopefully we get this fight out of the way first, and then I'm sure Golden Boy can get me the rematch I really want.
Now, you're in Los Angeles. We certainly couldn't be standing here and not talk about the trainer change. You know, I've interviewed Freddie, and first, before we get into the details, let me just ask you off the bat: do you at all regret the way you handled your trainer change and the way the situation has happened from your perspective? I think
I've done everything perfect, really, above board, really, because when I spoke to my team about changing trainers, I work with 2-3 different trainers, Nassim Richardson being one, also Virgil and a couple others in England, and I then did, when I made my choice, which was Virgil, I did call Freddie myself, and my manager called him, Asif, and we said, look Freddie, it's been great working with you, I just think I need a change of a trainer, and you know, I'm gonna train with Virgil. and see how it goes. But I still want to stay friends. And Freddie said to me, fine, whenever you want to come to Wildcard, you're more than happy to come by. And we left on good terms. But I don't know what's happened since. I mean, ended.
His story is that he found out about the change in the papers.
No, I called him. I mean,
so you were the first to tell him?
Yeah, I called him myself. I know it was hard for me to call him, because I remember saying to my manager, it's going to be so awkward, telling Freddie that I'm going to leave him, because, I respect him that much. But end of the day, I have to think about myself. But I did call him myself, yeah. And
then the other issue was that you gave him an ultimatum that he had to drop Manny Pacquiao. He had to drop Chavez.
I didn't speak to him about all that. I mean, he spoke to my management team. Me and Freddie never spoke about dropping this guy, dropping that guy. All I wanted was more of his time, more than anything. I didn't say anything about him dropping people. So all that's just rumors, really. I mean, I'm happy to sit down with him and his team, and maybe my team sit down and we can sort all this out. Because at the end of the day, look, I don't want to look the bad person. I know what I said and I know what we did, and the honest truth is that we didn't say anything disrespectful or anything or do anything that was wrong. I did everything above board and everything. And if I did say that, I'm not that stupid to say that, because I know Manny's been with him for such a long time. And plus, even though when I was in the camp, I was still number 2. After Chavez wasn't really one I had to be bothered about. I still got a lot of attention from Freddie, but it was just time. I wasn't really getting the time I needed. But other than that, it's something that I still think Freddie's a great trainer, and I've always said that. And who knows, maybe in the future we work together again. It's just one of them things that I just needed to change, and hopefully let's see how this changes.
With the trainer conflict out of the way, is there any chance that you would now consider a fight with Manny Pacquiao?
I mean, it's not in my radar. I mean, I still wanna take this fight on first, and then see exactly where I am, and then sit down with my team and plan out the next couple of fights. At the moment, it's too soon to say. But like I said, let's see where we are after this fight, and then that's when I can sit down with my team. Yeah.
And turning to the fight ahead of us, you've got Virgil Hunter in your corner now. He's also got a superstar. It would be hard to believe that you're number 1 yet again. He's got a guy that may be pound for pound best in the sport, or at least in that conversation.
That's the first thing I asked Virgil. I said, Virgil, you have another fighter, which is Andre, and we know what happened with me and Manny and Freddie and stuff. Freddie being very busy, and I appreciate why Freddie was so busy, because Manny's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. And Virgil said, I treat all my fighters as number 1. He says, you will have 100% of my time, and I don't want you to think that you're number 2 or you're number 1. I treat everyone as number 1. And even though Andre has been coming to the gym and training, he's been training me and Andre 100%. He's giving me 100% time, and he's been hanging out with me, and I can't believe he's giving me so much time, even though having someone like Andre in his camp as well. So I've not really felt that I'm number 2 or number 1. I've felt like I'm a fighter that's been taught and taught what I need to be taught, and also spend time with.
Now, you've been in camp for what, 3, maybe 4 weeks now? 3 weeks. You've got to be getting a feel for it. What's changed? What are you working on? Obviously, you don't want to get into any really detailed specifics, but what is it that's new about this camp and trainer that you feel good about?
I mean, walking to a gym sometimes and it's so quiet and chilled, I think is a big help, because when you walk into a gym and it's so busy and there's so much going on, it's so hard for you to think about what you need to do. Whereas this gym, when I walk into Virgil gym, I walk in, it's nice and quiet, I wrap up, I think about the whole day, what I'm going to be doing and stuff, and then from there, we start a session, I think about everything's quiet. Virgil explains everything to me and makes me understand it. Not only just says it to me, but it makes me understand why I have to do this and why I'm doing a technique and why I'm throwing this punch and that punch. And that's what I love about it. I just love that I'm getting to spend quality time with my trainer, and it's one-to-one, and also the gyms are very quiet and very private. But we're working on a lot of new things. We're working on using my brain more instead of using my heart. Everyone knows I have a big heart. I'll get up off knockdowns and I'll fight back, and I'll try and knock out opponents. But no, why do that? I mean, I have to be more smart. I have to use my boxing skills. Use my brains, hit, move, do what Amir Khan's best at. I have a hand speed, I have power, I have great footwork. Use those use those skills I have. So instead of going in there try bombing someone else, it's not my style. So I've taught with Virgil, he's changed my style that way, where he's making me think about what I have to do, think ahead, not rush, and just be smart about everything.
Virgil Hunter is known as a really a mentor style trainer. Freddie's known for that as well. Are you creating that kind of relationship with him? Is it that kind of bond that you're building now?
Yeah, definitely. We watch videos together of other fighters, not only myself but other fighters, and it explains to me, visually, just when you see something and you think, oh yeah, now I know what you mean. So he explains things and then makes me watch a video, and he shows me on the videotape that, look, this is how it is and this is how you should throw a shot. You see how this person threw the shot and that person threw the shot. I want you to throw it the same way. And that's how you learn, and that's what we've been working on. And also, spending time together, maybe having dinner together, sitting down, talking about boxing, talking about how the day's been, talking about how training's been going, what I'm happy with, what I'm not happy with. So, you are building that bond, building a close bond where, I know he has to be close to me, and we have to be very close, because he's someone who I rely on, and he relies on me as well.
Turning lastly to your opponent, you guys are both coming off pretty shocking defeats in the manner in which they happened. And this is your second loss, even though the first one was, disputed. It's arguable. Do you feel like this is one of those turning points in your career? Like, not only you have to win, but you have to make a statement to bring Amir Khan back.
100%, yeah, definitely. We've been right to the top, and I think it's now where we send a statement out to the world of boxing and show how good Amir Khan is. We made mistakes, and we're not going to make them mistakes again. And that's why I've changed everything around with the trainer, with everything. I've changed. So I'm looking forward to this big change, and I want everyone to look forward to it as well, because they're going to see a new Amir Khan and a new fighter in the ring, and they're going to be very amazed and very shocked with what they see.
Thank you, Amir Khan. I appreciate the time. Good luck to you. Radio Rahim with King.